All right, guys. Well, hey, welcome to Kavu Coaching. Today is Monday, July 8th. So glad to have you guys here. I'm going to jump right into the coaching today, but don't forget this week we launch our Thursday coaching as well. So it'll be Monday at 9 a.m. and then Thursday at 4 p.m., both of them Pacific Standard Time, or whatever it is now, Pacific Daylight Time. And so it'll be Pacific. So we'll be kicking off our Thursday calls this week as well. Now, you obviously don't have to be on every call. That's a lot, but please get on as many as you want. But utilize this time to get some coaching. Okay, utilize this time to get some coaching because right now it's a little difficult to get the weekly one-on-ones. And so, in fact, I don't even want you to do weekly one-on-ones because that's too much. Reserve your calls for a while. And then but utilize this time because I'm always going to be here, and it's very, very convenient. All right, so today what I want to do is I want to talk with you about an idea that's been going in my mind called customer mentorship. Okay, customer mentorship. This is a phrase, I don't know if anybody's used it before. It's just something that as I've been thinking about who we are as coaches and as marketers, this phrase just keeps coming to my mind. By the way, have you guys ever drank this bubbly before?
Is it good?
It's amazing. And this is blackberry. And it's actually just water and with some gas in it. So it's sparkling water, but it's like really good. And I'm in love with it. So July is from today for 30 days, I'm doing like a big, I don't want to call it a cleanse, but I just got to eat clean for the next 30 days. I got to drop 10 pounds because I don't like me some me right now. So, but we'll figure it out. But back to customer mentorship. Okay. So this phrase customer mentorship, here's what I want you to think about. So if you think about like the flow of gaining a client, right? So you have a product and you want to get this product in the hands of a client. So we go through our sales pitch, we do hook, story, offer, trying to move them from the idea to a client. Okay, because we want them to buy our stuff. Like we want them to buy it. We want them to, to get it because they need help and you need money. So typically what happens is our customer relationship is typically transactional. Okay, so we make a customer transaction. Okay, or a customer acquisition. And so when we talk about customers, we're typically talking about customer transaction, customer acquisition, even customer transformation, right? Like, whoa, okay, come in and buy my service, and then boy, I'm gonna like transform your entire business. I'll get you more leads, blah, blah, blah. But the piece about customership, if that's even a word, that I think gets lost in translation sometimes is this idea of customer mentorship. And this as I've just been marinating on this over the last couple of days, I'm like, I want to come to the Kavu folks and talk with them about this because here's what I look at that. So if you remember the 6 ways that you make money online, you can be a coach, a consultant, a teacher, a mentor, an implementer, and a mentor. And so what a mentor is simply someone who has been on top of the mountain that says, I know how to get there, follow me, I'll show you the way. A mentor cares more about the person than they do the organization. And what I'm learning, like when I have a lot of success with you guys, when I have a lot of success with other clients and stuff, it's when I put my mentor hat on. I'm not just trying to sell you something. I'm not just trying to get you to buy something. I'm not just trying to get you a result. But when I put my mentorship hat on, then something pretty amazing happens. So I want to bring this way down to like some really simple, basic levels, okay? So the first time that I began recognizing this in this particular world was when I started a program called CF 101. In fact, this is the thing that you guys have. I don't even know if you know it. By the way, I have to see. See, if you were on the Zoom call, you would have got muted and that would have been fine. But when I started CF 101, by the way, if you want this, it's cf101.org. I can't remember what the code is, Tribe 100 or whatever, you get it for free. Or $1 if you want that. And that's my online course on how to do ClickFunnels. So I remember when I was launching that program, I wanted to launch it live. And it's really, honestly, it's a great course. The content in it is beautiful, but the delivery is terrible, okay? I mean, it's brutally awful. And, but I remember when I was doing it live, and I did it at night, like at 9 p.m. at night, because I wanted people all around the world to be on it. And I remember this one particular guy coming on, and he just kept asking me questions and asking me questions. And to be honest with you, I was getting a little bit annoyed, because I'm like, dude, I just want to teach. Okay. So stop asking your questions. Like, they're so dumb, like whatever. And I found myself getting really frustrated with this particular person. And he kept blowing up my inbox, with questions. And then, one day I just said, I'm not going to be mad at this guy. I'm just going to see if I can help him. Because if I can help resolve this stuff, then he's going to stop blowing up my inbox. He'll stop sabotaging the group or whatever. So I reached out to him, and he goes, hey, can you just hop on a quick call? And those of you who know me, I don't like to do calls. And so I didn't want to. I said, what the heck? So he jumps on a call with me, and he and I are talking about some things. And what I learned was I learned that what this guy really needed was he didn't really need coached. He didn't really need done for you services. What he needed he needed a mentor. He needed someone who would be willing to look at him not as dollars and cents. He needed someone who was going to be able to look at him as not someone who just, how quick can I get this guy off my back? What he needed somebody who could look at him through the lens of mentor that says, hey man, you can do this. You've got this. You can build this funnel. You can learn ClickFunnels. You can get clients. You can do this. And let me love you through the process. And so the strategist in me wanted to say, hey, here's how you go from here to here. Okay. The coach in me wanted to give him my 12P process. But the mentor in me sat down and said, there's more to this story than just that. And what I've learned is by asking questions. So I would ask him a couple questions. So, hey man, how's it going? What do you do? Tell me about your family. Okay. And what I learned very quickly with this particular guy was that he had all kinds of hangups. Okay. That was sort of just hangups in life that was sort of keeping him from doing things. And I just simply encouraged him on a couple things. Hey, hang in there with your wife. Okay. I promise you that the pain you feel today isn't going to last with you forever. It's good. And I would just give him like a little bit of things. And what happened was it moved our relationship out of the transactional phase and into the mentorship phase. And something that I noticed, it started there. That's when I first started becoming cognizant of this, is that when I would begin mentoring my clients in aspects that weren't transactional, that my credibility and authority went through the roof. My relational glue, so to speak, with them went through the roof. And then there was I could do nothing wrong. Whereas before that, our entire relationship was results driven. Our entire relationship was on, you need to build a funnel. Let me teach you how to build a funnel. It was transactional. It was relational, or excuse me, it's transactional. It was, it was results based. And so it put a big, gigantic distance between me and him. Now, hear what I'm saying, what I'm not saying. What I'm not saying is you don't need to go deep with every client and get to know their business. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying, that when you approach a client through the lens of a mentorship, where my job here is to not just make money from you, not just to get a result for you, but my job is to mentor you through the whole process. They begin to see you a little bit different. Okay. And as they begin to see you a little bit different, your relationship with them changes. So for instance, notice in the Cavu coaching, I've sort of put on my mentorship hat for several of you. Okay. And what that does is our conversation shifts, because when I just have my coaching hat on, all you guys want to talk about is, Chad, I need money. I need this. I need that. What can I do? Right. And I'll put my coaching hat on and I'll walk you through that. Right. But you may not know this. We have, since November, we have walked 14 of you, 14 of you through some kind of major relationship shift, or some kind of divorce, or some kind of massive change in your life. 14 of you have gone through this. So we're talking divorces. We're talking people who've lived together for 10 years, splitting up. We're talking about business partners that were together for so many years that no longer are together. We're talking about people who've been fired from a job that they had 20-something years. 14 of you, we've gone through these big, gigantic shifts, right? And what I would tell you is that when it comes time for glue, that nothing will keep us together more than the customer mentorship as opposed to the customer coaching. Because see, customer coaching comes and goes, okay? But mentorship doesn't, because mentorship, you build friendship. Now, let me see if I can, I wish I had my whiteboard here because I would.
Hey, Chad, we lost your audio, pal. Can't hear you. Sorry, I'm not there to help you out, pal. Go into your sound settings on your Mac. Go into your sound settings, and worst case scenario, just use the internal mic.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let me try to move it back. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't, what was the last thing you heard? Okay, I'll start from the thought. So what I want to do is I want to see if I can explain this to you. So we use the word love in the English language, and we use love for everything. So like if you're like madly in love with somebody, you want to live with them for the rest of your life, we say, oh my God, I love you, right? If we go down to Dillard's and we see an outfit that we love, we're like, oh my God, I love it. If we go to a movie, we're like, man, I love that movie, right? And so we use the word love so drastically in the English language, right? So if, we call people loved ones, right? And so love has various meanings, some of them from incredibly shallow to some incredibly deep. And what I want to show you is mentorship is the same way. So friendship is the same way. So here's what I don't want you to do. For the majority of your clients, I'm not telling you to go like build this gigantic friendship where like on 4th of July, you're barbecuing and all this. I'm not telling you to do that. Okay, that can get exhausting. But what I am telling you is understand the different levels of mentorship and the different levels of friendship. Okay. So if you can understand this, that if your end goal with a client is to get them a result, right? That's your end goal. You want to get them a result. And we ask, what are things stopping them? Okay. And we get to on the 12-step process, we say that there's a person, here's who I'm trying to work with, here's what they're trying to accomplish. They have a problem. So here are the obstacles that are in the way. The third P is pain, right? So here's the pain that they're going through because those problems have manifest themselves. Well, I want you to think about this just for a second, that those problems, if they really are looking at themselves in the mirror and saying, I don't like that person, if they really are frustrated because they don't have any money, if it's really putting a strain on their marriage, if it's really putting some frustration between them and their kids, if they really have those kinds of problems, then you need to stop and ask yourself the question, like, listen, I'm not trying to be their shrink. I'm not trying to be their pastor. I'm not trying to be their psychologist. I'm not trying to even be their friend. But what I am trying to do is I'm trying to help them remove obstacles from them getting a result. And so sometimes the tactics that we use could be spot on, but if they have other crap, other junk in their trunk, so to speak, that needs worked with, that's going to stop them. Your system and your tactic can be fine, but that's going to stop them. We have people in our program right now that've got so much going on in their mind and so much going on in their heart that they can't accomplish what it is that they need to accomplish. And so because of that, sometimes I got to come along and just encourage them to work on this, or just say, the phrase that I learned a long time ago is, you have to know that the pain you're going through today will not last forever. So I've got to remind them of that. I've got to remind them that you are enough, that you are good enough. I got to sometimes stop and just remind them that, like, hey, listen, you got into this business to change the world, and did you really think it was going to be easy? Right? I got to remind them of back when you had a 9-to-5 job, all you could do every day is just dream a little bit. You couldn't wait till you became an entrepreneur. Okay. And so sometimes mentors have to go back and remind them what path they are on, because that's the hurdles that sometimes we've got to be able to remove for clients. Because if we don't remove these hurdles for clients, then what's going to happen is they're going to do your tactics. This other stuff is going to get in their way. And then in the end, they're going to blame you for not having a very good tactic or good strategy. So I just learned from the outset that sometimes I have to put on my customer mentorship hat. No matter what I'm doing, if I'm helping somebody with a Facebook ad, if I'm helping somebody with a funnel, if I'm helping somebody with coaching, if I'm consulting them, if I'm doing whatever, I have to realize if my job is to get from point A to point B, sometimes there's some things in the way between the two, and I need to mentor through them. But remember, there's different levels. I'm not telling you to be their buddy. I'm not telling you to be their shrink. I'm not telling you to be their psychologist. But sometimes simple reminders is what glues you together. It brings you together. So now what I want you to do is I want you to think about your current client set. Think about who you work with right now at the moment and who needs a little encouragement. So for instance, I don't do this well. In fact, I'm terrible at this. But the people who are really good mentors, they do this. Like for instance, like Alyssa sent me a really nice note in the mail, okay, the other day. So I got a really nice handwritten note from her and Alyssa. I'm grateful for that. Okay. Doing that for your clients really helps. So you can mentor people just by simply sending them a note of encouragement. Hey, Johnny, super excited to be working with you on this new funnel strategy, but I wanted to take just a minute to encourage you. I know sometimes in our entrepreneurial journey that life gets difficult, and I just want to tell you that I'm here for you, I'm pulling for you, and I'm on your side. And then put like hashtag team whatever their first name is, like, so Team Mary, and then sign your name. That's mentorship. It's encouragement. It's affirmation. Because in the end, remember, we said that there's two things that people need, right? So we chase security or we chase significance. Okay, so what happens is sometimes you have all the money in the world, but you feel insignificant, or you have all the significance in the world and you feel broke. And so we're trying to make some kind of balance to them. But what happens is anytime one of those gets out of balance, you get discouraged. And so sometimes what you need is you need affirmation, you need encouragement through that process. And we very seldom get it from our friends and family because they don't understand what we're doing. So being a mentor, thinking like a mentor for your customers will glue you guys together. Does that make sense? Am I making any sense for you guys? That the best way, in my mind, one of the best ways that you can to bring the two of you guys together, put your mentorship hat on, encourage them each step of the way. Don't let them give up. Okay, if they tried one of your tactics, it's not working, love on them. Love on them through the process, okay? Don't beat them up. Clients do not hire you to get beat up. They hire you to get built up, okay? So make sure that you do that. Let's see what you guys are saying. Loads of sense. Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm going to stop, and I'm going to coach you guys. Thanks, Roxanne. Love that, Justin. Now let's see what you guys are saying on the Facebook group. Oh, I see. Facebook ended.
Hi.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good.
Good. Should I not be on video?
You can be on video if you want to, but I'm going to mute you unless you got a question to ask.
I do not.
Okay. All right. So who's going to kick us off? Does anybody have something for me today? So I hope you guys enjoyed that little teaching. So those of you who are new to the program, what I like to do is I like to come on, typically give you somewhere between 20 and 30 minutes of teaching. And most of the time I get going, and so that's longer. And so enjoy the days today, like when it's shorter, okay? So how can I help? And if you don't have help,
Hi,
yeah.
I have a question. Not
Yes.
sure if this is the right place though.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, remember my pitch presentation, the one I'm struggling with.
Okay, how can I help?
Yeah, so I want to know, should I do it like the webinar format way, like the perfect webinar format, or should I just do it like the way you do your Facebook Lives, where you just teach kind of like generically, then do your pitch?
Yeah. So like so what Mary's asking is when you try to move people when you're trying to do a Facebook Live to either sell something or get people to your inbox, exactly how do you do that? Like, do you do it like a formal webinar or what? And so what I like to do is I like to encourage you to teach one concept, okay? So like, let's say today, taking the teaching that I just did. So let's say that I was going to be selling my coaching program on the back end. I could go on a Facebook Live and say, hey guys, how you doing, chat today? What I want to do is I want to talk with you about customer mentorship, how to mentor your customers to ensure that they get the results necessary. Now, I'm going to go on and tell you a 4-step process on how to do that. But before I get there, what I want to do is I want to tell you at the end of our talk today, I'm going to be telling you guys about a brand new thing I got coming up, blah, 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 blah. And then I'll go on and teach it. And then once I get to that teaching, then I'm going to go to 3 questions. Okay. So I'll do my teaching and then we transition with our 3 questions. Remember, question number 1, if you guys read our mastermind, is qualify. You know, so like with my small event, big profit, it would be, hey, how many of you would like to have your very own small event where you can invite between 12 and 24 people and profit 6 figures in a weekend? So I got to qualify my audience. Second thing that I do is I create some kind of urgency. Okay, so, hey, so if I could really show you how to create 6 figures in a weekend, how many of you would want to get started sooner than later? And so I'll build urgency. And the third thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create scarcity with, hey, so if I was just to work with 1 or 2 of you or 2 or 3 of you, and I was to be able to just show you everything that I knew about X, Y, and Z, and I could help you through the process, I could hold your hand through the process, I could keep you from making all kinds of mistakes, blah, blah, blah. If I could only work with 2 or 3, how many of you would want to be one of those 2 or 3 people? So what I do is after as I set up my Facebook Live, I tease all throughout my teaching, something coming, something coming, something coming. I don't leave them waiting. Sometimes I'll even tell them, hey, at the end, guys, I'm going to tell you guys about a brand new coaching program I have called Kabu. It is awesome. You're not going to want to miss this. I'm going to be telling you about this program where people have been getting, stupid results, blah, 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 blah. So that's coming up in a minute. But before I get there, grab a pencil and piece of paper, and I'll start teaching. And so then I'll say, oh, and don't forget, in my Kabu program that I'm going to tell you about a little bit, I talk about blah, blah, blah. So I will tease that offer. So I teach, then I move to 3 questions, and then from the 3 questions, I go right into that slide, Mary, that slide deck that I gave you, which is our formal pitch, formal presentation, which those of you who've been in Kabu long enough, most of you have been through that. I've got 7 or 8 of you that have it, but most of you have been through that. Those of you coming to my high ticket mastery program in Boise, you guys will get that formal pitch training at the high ticket mastery, but it's also available in the Tribe 100 program as well.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah. Mary from Kenya. What time is it there, Mary? It's still pretty early, right? Yeah.
7:26 p.m.
6 p.m.
7:26.
7:26. Nice.
Yeah.
What's
up, Daniel? I got a question for you.
Yeah. I can't see you, but I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm choosing not to use my video today.
Okay. Go ahead.
I am starting to do podcasts with people. I've reached out, got a lot of yeses.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you could speak a little bit to my approach in preparation and the outcomes outcomes that I should be focusing on for podcasts.
Right. So at the last mastermind, you should have put together a set of talking points from your 2,500 word article, 5, 6, 7 questions that you can give your interviewee that can just sort of lead you down the right path to make sure that you are teaching your pathway to success. Right. And so just make sure that you know what the hell you're talking about. Okay. Because you'll have a ton of confidence, because you want to be able to go on there and you want to be able to not only communicate great information, but you have to do it with lots of energy. So here's something that I want you guys to think about. A little exercise that I used to do with my Design Academy people, but something I want you to think about. So when you go on a podcast, you have to remember that the camera translates everything. Okay. So if I'm speaking at 100% now, the camera is going to dumb it down to about 80% or maybe 70%, right? The energy is just going to be lost. So I have to exaggerate my energy in order to actually have energy on the podcast. Now, sometimes you can overdo that, right? Because then it seems really weird, really fake. Like nobody likes that. Okay, that's goofy. Like nobody wants that. I hope I didn't scare you guys. But so nobody wants that. So what you have to do is first and foremost is energy comes from preparation. So if you're prepared like crazy, you know what you're going to say. It's easy to be energetic because you're not using all of that emotion to try to figure out what you're going to say. You can use that emotion to be able to translate to the audience. So be incredibly prepared and then bring the energy. You got to bring the energy, bring the energy. So a little exercise that I like to do before I go on is I like to like use like the excited. So like let's say that, you know, Mary's got me on the interview and Mary's going to start her podcast very boring. Hi, everybody. This is Mary G from Kenya. And today we're super excited to have my business coach, Chad Thibodeau, on. And Chad runs the Design Academy. And he's a ClickFunnels 30. Oh, Chad, we're so excited. How are you? And then my job is right now, is to pick up the freaking pieces because she's already blown it, right? She's already blown it right from the get-go. So what I like to do is when I come out, I like to do some kind of exercise where I like to just right out of my mouth, I like to tell them what we're going to say, and I like to do it with some kind of energy. So I like to do a qualification question right out of the gate. So, hey, Mary, thanks so much. Man, I am super excited. Are you excited? Are you excited to be here? I'm super excited to be teaching you guys this. Hey, guys, today, and then I'll go to my qualification question. Today, I'm going to be telling you guys how to make 6 figures by inviting 12 to 24 people to a small event. How many of you guys, how many of you guys want to learn that? If you're listening to this podcast today, you're in a great place, and I'll do some mental work, some physical work to try to get my energy up right from the beginning. So I kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I tell them what I'm going to tell them, and I build my energy right from the beginning because the host always brings it down. So when you go on a podcast, first thing is be super prepared. Okay, know what the heck you're going to say. It's easy to do that because you gave them the questions. Okay, number 2, you got to bring the energy and qualify people right from the get-go. Number 3, you got to say something at the beginning that's totally going to blow their mind. Like find your best stuff or find a memorable quote. Like for instance, so if you were bringing me on on the show, I would say something like, Daniel, man, thanks so much, man, for having me here. I'm really, really excited. Today, what I'm going to do, I'm going to be telling you about how I went from broke to $250,000 in just 90 days. And at the end of our conversation today, I'm going to be giving you the exact formula, exact sheet that I use to be able to do that. And so super excited that you guys are here, blah, 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 blah. Right. So I hooked them right at the beginning. So how I went from broke to 250,000, right? That's right at the beginning. So I hooked them. And what that does is that leads them on through the conversation. So something I want you to think about, Daniel, is like when you go on a podcast, you don't want to be super smooth. Hi, everybody. This is Daniel. No. You're not doing a radio show. You're doing a podcast. And so I want you to bring the energy, be prepared, take it next level, and then say something right out of the gate that just knocks their socks off. Now, all of this can be done with a little bit of preparation. Okay, and the nice thing is once you do it for one, you can do it. You can do it for all. So honestly, that's what I would do. Now, from the customer acquisition standpoint, there's a few things that I would do. I would have a funnel created. So let's say that Mary was going to be your podcast host. I'd have a funnel created that said something like, whatever your system is, the 100K DJ / Mary G, or whatever the name of the podcast is. So anybody that went to that, they could get the offer that you're going to be giving them. So let's say you're giving away a lead magnet, you're giving away a free video series, you're giving away a masterclass, or you're giving away a strategy goal, whatever it is you're giving away, have that funnel created in advance. So when you go do that podcast, you have it. Okay. Now I can get you, if I can find it. Okay. If you'll send me an email or a text message later on, I can get you a sheet that a guy by the name of Dennis Langless, I think is his name, did. He runs a podcast called The 5 Minute Bark. And he worked on something. He asked me to design it over a year ago. I haven't had a chance to do it yet. But he created this funnel that he uses for every podcast that he goes on. And what he'll do is it'd be whatever your URL is / that funnel. And it's really cool because it's a funnel already pre-made with everything on it that the listeners need. And it's got the qualification, it's got the bio, it's got everything. You should really look into that. So just be super prepared when you go on there and make sure you have your end game ready to go. So how am I going to transfer their audience to my audience? That's the best way to do it is by having that already prepared. So the more prepared you are, the more, not polished, but the more prepared you are and the more ready to go you are, the more confidence you'll have, the more energy you'll have, and people will be attracted to you.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Let's see.
Hi,
Yo, yo, yo. Who is that? What's up, Mia?
Mia. Okay, so I've got a quick question, and I don't mean to interrupt anybody if there's like a queue or anything. I'm about to get on a flight, so I kind of gotta do it now if that's okay with everybody. Cool.
Yeah, do it.
Okay. Okay. So obviously, you guys know I've got a lot going on, and that's the challenge that I'm facing right now is that I've got a lot going on. So we're launching Excalibur at the Giant CBD Expo happening August 2nd and 3rd, but I'm also backing it up on 4th and 5th to my
Yeah.
first major mastermind. And so we've got three things that we're selling. One is the mastermind, and the other two are lumped as one, and they're really, really high end ticket, basically advertising packages that I'm using to fund Excalibur. And so we've got a $50,000 one and we've got a $150,000 package. But I'm finding the launch strategy and the marketing strategy challenging to put together because it's lumping everything together in a big way. And it's a big thing, and there's going to be a lot of media and stuff associated with it, but I'm not sure about the lead up because I want to give people the option to like buy in before I actually launch the big high tickets at the event. But I also want to get people to the mastermind. So I've got a lot going on, and I'm just a little confused as to how to,
So something I would tell you to start with is I want you to think of like a highway, right? So a highway has multiple lanes, but they're all going the same direction. Okay.
Yes.
And you only get in trouble when cars start going the wrong direction. So what I would tell you to do is just is create certain lanes within your business. Okay. So because you have masterminds, you have events, you have whatever. So create your certain lanes. They're all going in the same direction. So it's okay for them to be moving at the same exact time. They can all move at different speeds and it's fine. There's plenty of room for everything. But what I'd be really careful is about doing is creating, and I'm going to push on pause just for a second. It's a little loud. Okay. And you can unmute in a minute with dialogue, but the background noise was getting loud. But so if you think of like a highway and you get multiple lanes, you're all going the same direction. You can all go at different speeds. So if you put all your products, all your events, whatever on the highway, you can keep going. But I would be really cautious about creating one marketing strategy that covers all of them. I would be thinking of this. I would be getting tunnel vision on one. So if you have a mastermind, like if you have an event coming up, okay, and you're trying to get people at the event, think about like, who am I trying to, so start with the end in mind. So what am I going to be selling at that event? And whatever you're going to be selling at the event, you obviously have to qualify those people to be at the event in order to buy it. Because the last thing you want is you don't want to be selling a $150,000 product at the event and only have people that can afford $50K at the event, right? So you have to be thinking about what can I do to qualify? So what we do is we use two things to qualify. We use purpose and we use price. Okay. So if you're going to be selling a $100,000 product at a mastermind, which is a ton of money, you better have the right people in the room in order to buy that product. So you do that by purpose and price. So you talk about the purpose. What's the purpose of the event? What are you trying to accomplish? What are the outcomes that they're going to get? What is it they're going to be doing? And you need to be able to very clearly in your communication say, here's who this is for. If you have this, and this going for you, this is for you. But guys, listen, you are wasting your time. Here's who it's not for. It's not for this person, this person, this person, this person. And if you come to this and you're in that category, you are wasting your time and you're wasting mine and you're taking up a seat that can go to someone else. So I would get very black and white with who you want there and who you don't want there. Because then what happens is people start self-qualifying or self-disqualifying. The people that you want are going to rise up and say, well, heck yeah, I'm going to that. That is me, right? Because they want to be part of an elite group. The people who are tire kickers, they're going to try to justify why they're the right person. But the wrong people, they're gonna be like, oh dear God, I'm not coming to that. So I would think of the different lanes, but then I would use purpose and price to filter my people out. So purpose, just like we talked about it, here's what we're trying to accomplish, here's who this is for, here's who it's not for. And then what I'm doing is I'm gonna go price. And so something like that, Mia, if you're going to be selling a $150,000 program on the back end or a $50,000 program on the back end, I would probably tell you not to charge any less than $2,500 to $5,000 to come in, because you need price to filter out all those other people. So if they can't see your value, okay, if they can't see the value of coming to an event for that much money, they're never going to see the value to buying a $150,000 product. Okay, so I would really work hard on that. So and just say, okay, what is it that they're going to learn at the event? So with the events, and you can go back, well, actually, we don't have it, but a small event, big profit, what we just talked about last week in Orlando, I don't think you were at that portion of it, is that what we talked about is in order to have a successful event, okay, you have to start with the pitch. You have to start with like, what is it that I'm going to be selling at the event? And you start with that and you back it up, and everything is just basically one big gigantic marketing campaign to get people to buy that thing. So your marketing looks a certain way, your message looks a certain way, your Facebook lives look a certain way, your onboarding calls look a certain way, your funnel looks a certain way. So if you're going to be charging $150,000, it better be a nice looking, elite looking funnel. Okay. If you're charging 10 grand, whatever. Right. But if you're charging 150 grand, it better look like a $150,000 funnel, because the whole thing is a marketing piece leading up. So you got to start with your end goal in mind. So my end goal is to sell $50,000 to $150,000, and then back that train up and say, okay, I want to get them there through the event, but I want to qualify the type of people. So I'm going to do this. So based on, I need these kinds of people. I got to do these Facebook Lives, these onboarding calls. I got to speak in front of this conference, whatever, in order to get the quality of people that I want. Or I need to create this kind of podcast. Or I need to create this kind of buzz. You got to think through that. So if you can think about the end, I want to sell a $150,000 product, and you can reverse engineer your way, you can go all the way back to the qualification of clients. That's where your two bookends are. Everything that happens in the middle, the two bookends is how do I qualify people and get them into my event, so they're the right people who not only fund my event, but they also are the right people to fund my project. And then on the back end, how in the world can I make that hook, that story, that offer? How can I make it so damn irresistible that people can't just resist? So that's where I would start. I would start with my lanes. And I think you already have some of that because you're a little further along there. But what are my lanes? And then create a unique marketing strategy for each one. Don't blur lines. Because when you blur lines, then you start getting yourself in trouble. Because when you blur lines, you blur audiences. And you don't want that. And then not only do you do that, but then you get overwhelmed. One last thing I'm going to tell you on this. Here's a phrase I want you guys to remember and maybe even write down. The phrase is what you see, you can control. What you can't see controls you. So for instance, Mia, you got a lot going on. You have mastermind, you have events, you have Excalibur, you got this, you got that, you got this. And so what happens is, unless you get yourself organized in writing so you can see it all in one document, okay? And I'm not talking about all the minuscule. I'm talking about just the main categories. So if you can see it, then you can mentally say, okay, I can control this. So here's lane 1. This is what I got to do. Bam, 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 bam. And then you can check it off. Here's lane 2. Bam, bam, bam. Here's lane 3, etc. But if you got it right here in not detail, and you're pretty detailed, so I'm going to guess you probably do have it, okay, then it's going to control you like crazy. It's going to mess with your mind. You're going to get overwhelmed and frustrated because our mind fantasizes about everything. So if we have 10 things to do, okay, our mind thinks we have 200 things to do. So that's why I have to be able to put it on a document so I can see it. Now I see it, I know what I have to do, and then I can control my mind, and it's not going to get overwhelmed. So what I can see, I can control. What I can't see controls me. So keep your lanes really crystal clear. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't find yourself doing 38 projects at once, although you're not going to listen to me on that, okay? But singular marketing strategies on each one of them, because audiences are different, concepts are different, everything's different. Make sense? Where are you going?
Hi again.
Oh.
I'm flying back to Hawaii, and then I'm moving to Florida in like a week and a half.
Oh, now you're going to Florida. Cool. In Miami or Orlando?
Miami. Yeah. Miami. Yeah. So.
Very cool.
Yeah. Taxes in California didn't make sense. So.
Yeah.
There goes San Diego. But yeah, so thank you very much for that. I very much appreciate your insight on that one, because it's been so jumbled, and it's like, which one is lumped into what basket? Yeah. But if it's 3 different lanes, it makes total sense.
You got to separate them. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, that makes total sense. And then is it a good idea to pre-launch the offer that I'm going to launch at the event and the mastermind?
The big 150K.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. What I would do is, because it's so much easier for you to think on your feet when you're in a live situation with real people. Okay. You can get instant feedback. You can get feedback immediately on, is my hook good? Is my story good? Is my offer good? And so if I were you, I would wait until that event to pitch it, to see, one, if you can sell it, see what you need to tweak. And then because you can get live interactive feedback, like bam, right there, right? And you got a day or two to be able to massage that offer to nurture that offer, to make sure that, if you got to tweak it or change it or whatever. I would launch, if I were you, I would launch it at the event first, and then and then give them the best pricing at the event. Okay. Hey guys, I'm getting ready to launch this to the public. And when it launches, it's going to be at such and such dollars. You guys got to jump on right now and get it for this, 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 and this. So I'd give them event pricing, because you can tweak your hook, tweak your story, tweak your offer to see if you need to do anything. And then when you go to a cold audience or even a lukewarm audience, it's a lot more apt to convert, because it's already converted with real people, if that makes sense. So I would wait.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else?
I have a question. So we were, in Florida, you had your team there. They were super awesome. But I'm a little confused on like what exactly is included in your 25K program. Because like what I started with Ty isn't quite finished. What I started with Cree isn't quite finished. And now I'm going to be going to the VIP pod, and I know I need to hire a copywriter, and I'm going to buy Cree's brand styling guide and whatnot. And it would be helpful if it was like written down someplace.
So it is. If you went to the funnel that you paid, it's all right there. Cabucoaching.com.
Oh.
Yeah, I think there's a list of deliverables at cabucoaching.com. What I don't think is there are all the little intangibles. So, well, actually, not really. You don't really get. Okay, I'll expand that list for you. I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, and I know what would be helpful too is like I know there's additional things that they can do for you that that costs. I totally get that and understand that, but it would be helpful like if maybe you like negotiated a Cavu.
They have that. They all have Cavu rates.
Okay, well, like with Cree, she didn't have that.
I will talk with her, because I think that she gives you a ton of stuff for free at the beginning. I'll talk with. In fact, I have a call with Cree. She actually called me right before the coaching. I'll find that out. But
okay.
they typically do give you guys smoking discounts if you buy like at the event and stuff. Like when they're there working with you guys for free. And so, but I will clarify that. I will clarify that for you. There may be some things that, if they have a lot of outsourcing costs, right, that they may not be able to discount, but I will find it out. So here's let me tell you some things that you just get. Okay, any tech that you need with funnels, we take care of it for you. That goes directly to Anshul. Okay, so you either go to the help at 7-Day Launch Challenge or support, whichever one we decided the other day it was. You go to that email, you can send any changes that you need in your funnel, whatever. And so we have, he is in your back pocket. You never have to pay for that. He'll do all of that. Ty comes to the events, and so he will work with you. Like if there's a funnel that you need tweaked or set up or whatever at the event, he will do that for you. If he doesn't finish it, as long as it's what we were doing at the event, he's welcome to finish it for you. Now, if you're asking him to like customize this and customize that or whatever, he may come back to you and say, hey, I can do that, but here's what my fee is for that. Okay. But like when we're at the event, we help you guys create those funnels. We give you the templates, and he goes in and he'll help you put it all together. So like if you have like an integration issue or payment gateway issue or an email system or whatever, he'll help you with all that. And he can still help you with that, on those particular funnels. If you're doing over and above that, in addition to that, I would tell you to go to Anshul, okay? Because Anshul is paid. He's on my payroll to be able to take care of all of my high ticket coaches from a technical standpoint. Because I don't want you guys ever to have to go to the CF support room ever, because it's not any good. The reason why it's not good is they just get too many people, right? They have too many people asking questions, and enough people fill them. And so it takes 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 days. And I don't want you guys doing that. I want you guys to be able to get help within 24 hours. And so you can go directly to Anshul for that. Now, as far as Cree goes, Cree's an independent girl. Cree's not on my payroll. She's on my staff. She's part of my team. I bring her everything that I do. We do a ton of stuff together, but she's got her own independent business. I have asked them to give us some smoking rates for our particular clients. And so when they come to these events, all the work that she does for you guys for free, that's on her dime. That's not on my dime. That's actually on her dime. And we negotiate negotiate some of that for you. But so the stuff that you guys were working on there, she'll tell you, she will finish that for you. Same thing with Ty. Okay. But if you're doing additional work, you may need to talk with them about, is this included or is this something I need to pay extra for? And they will tell you.
Okay.
And the reason I'm being a little vague on that is because I don't know what you were doing with them. So I can't tell you whether it's paid. What I will tell you is they will know. They will know whether this is included or whether it's not. Okay. But Anshul is always included. Okay. Anshul is always included. And Anshul does give you guys 50% off. So instead of $2,000 a month for his unlimited funnels, he gives it to you for $1,000 a month. Okay. So so that one is included. And he'll do unlimited funnels for you 2 at a time until they're done. So he will do those for you. And so I can tell you that. I have a gal who can help you with Facebook ads at a really reduced rate. If you need some help, if you need some help with that. Yeah. So I don't know.
So like when I'm at my VIP pod, if I come with like a brand guide in like my copy, Anshul could help build out.
Well, yeah, but Anshul won't be at the VIP pod, so you're not getting help there. He lives in India, so yeah.
I was confused. Who's the guy that's in your studio all the time?
That's Rashad.
Oh,
yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. No, yeah. Rashad lives here in Phoenix, and he's in my studio often. But no, Anshul lives in India.
Got it. Okay.
That's why you reach out to him. You can either just reach out to him in the group, or you can just email him directly. But you can get him anytime. Here's what's great about Anshul is because he is in India, he's 12 hours different from me. And so I will give him, like at 5 o'clock, I'll give him a set of instructions. At 6 o'clock, I'll give him a set of instructions. And when I wake up in the morning, they're done. I love that, because he can work around the clock. But no, so Anshul can definitely help you with all of that.
Okay.
And so, Caitlin, what I will do is I will expand. I'm always a little hesitant about putting these little things on there, so like the unlimited graphics and funnels, because those are perks, right? Those are perks to the program. They're not necessarily part of the offer. And so that's why I don't necessarily include them in the offer. So right now they're there, but if something happened and Kappa 99 all of a sudden decide they want to become $5K a month, well, I don't know if I can offer that anymore. So it's a perk to being in the group, but so I'll put as much as I can in there that I know I can offer forever. Okay. Or as long as you're in the program. And then I'll put those in there, and then I'll put little perks. So I'll put the bonuses that you get, and then I'll put perks, and those, just know that those perks are there, and as long as they're affordable and we can make it happen, I'm happy to do that. But if something happens and Kappa 99 10X's their rates, well, it's a luxury. It's not a necessity. So that's why I'm always a little nervous, but I'll put as much in there as I can. In fact, I'll put it on my to-do list to get done today. I'll put as much as in there I can, so you're not confused about what you get. But what you're really paying for are those things that are included. Okay.
So when I type in the kavucoaching.com, it just takes me to your sales page.
Yeah, to the order form, and on the right hand side it tells you what you get. You get the calls, so that's what I'm telling you. I will expand that list for you. Okay. So you can see, I'll expand it, so you can see everything, because even in this list right here is not the VIP pod, because we've added all that to you guys. And so I will go and change that. So this order form right now is at 25,000. It's not at 36 yet. I still haven't done that yet. But when I make those changes, I'll go in and put everything in there so you can see it. But I'll give you an exhaustive list of exactly what you get right there. And then here's what this get, and I'll get it done today for you, so you can see it. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Chad, I was looking through my notes trying to find the link to the event funnels from Small Event, Big Profit. I found the one to all the other funnel templates, but I couldn't find that one. And specifically, there was a template that was like pink or...
So just go to small event, these are singular, smalleventbigprofit.com/funnels.
That's what it was. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hey, Chad, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Okay. I pitched my first pay to play and got approval, over the phone. And it's coming up in 2 weeks. So I need you to tell me honestly if this is going to be a mess or if this is going to work.
Let's hear it.
Because it's only for one person. And so I'm totally tanking on how to cover all of the expenses. So what it boils down.
Okay, hold on. You're doing an event for just one person?
I mean, I am. It's a client who is a really high-end figure, and I almost feel like if I advertise this, she's not going to want that. She kind of just wants to come in as an agency client. I don't want to stop with these agency clients. I would rather roll them into my high-end and officially launch my high-end ticket package. Does that make sense?
So why are you doing an event for one person? Because she won't come if you do.
Because she wants new branding. She needs a credibility funnel. Like, she needs these pieces done. And so I either send her an invoice for 30 days, 3 payments like an agency client, or we just do it all in one event, get it done in 2 days. I have Korean Matter flying down. I got a videographer coming. Like, I have everyone coming.
Okay, so how much money are they paying? How much money do you want to make?
$5,700 is what we settled on.
$5,700 for the event?
Yes.
Okay, and then you're flying people down and everything?
Yes, I have it all figured out.
How much money are you going to make at the event?
I'm not going to make anything, and that's why
So you're going to try to break even in hopes of selling them a high-end client?
I'm literally breaking even. I'm not paying myself a dime.
Okay, so why don't you redo that? I don't know if you can. Can you not sell her on a big package, much higher than that, and then let that be the inauguration to the event? Where, hey, I do my accelerator pod. Like when you get the new coaching program, you start at my house, and then can you not do something like that? Are you afraid to pitch them before they come?
No, and that was the thing I wanted to ask you about, how to do this. I think I can go back at her with more. The problem that I was trying to understand in my head is she's going to want to split this into multiple payments. I already know that the reason why she was telling me she had a $5,000 budget is because she's maxed out, and that is what she can pay. So if I went back to her and pitched her at something, let's say 79 or 80, I would almost have to, for her to say yes to that, I would have to tell her it's split into multiple payments. And at the event, if she still has one more payment for the event, how does that roll into her payments then for the high ticket? Like, what's the structure?
So, but if she's got a $5,000 budget, is she at a position where she can afford your next level, or so here's what I don't want you to do. What I don't want you to do is I don't want you to have her pay $5,800 and her expect that she's getting your high ticket for $5,800. Hey, this person's coming in, this person's coming in, this person's coming in, because that's a lot of money. Because I mean, you're going to break even on this event. You're going to bust your tail, you break even on this event. You want her to know that this is just the beginning. There's a lot more, so you got to fork over this cash. Something I would tell you.
I've talked about that. Her thing is her monthly budget. As long as the reason why I'm confident she can do the high ticket later is because I'm going to keep the high ticket cost to around $2,000 a month. And so for her, that's
okay. So sell her on your high ticket program and include this event in it. So if it's $5,000 a month, say, okay, listen, my program is $60,000. And for $60,000, you get this, you get this, you get this, you get this, you get this. I'm going to fly you to this particular place on this particular day. I'm bringing this person in, this person, this person, this person in. So they're doing long-term work, not temporary work. They're going to be doing long-term work that's going to serve them for many, many years to come. So I would go back and just say, hey, we got a couple ways we can do that. And it may be too late, but I would do it that way. I would sell her on that long-term package and have this be her inauguration weekend, where she comes in, she sets everything up, and we're getting the authority funnel done. We're getting all the headshots. We're setting her up for success for the next year. But she knows that when she pays that $5,000, when she pays that's only one payment, one of 12. And you're going to throw all your energy and effort, because it should feel like a $30,000 event.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know if you can go back and talk with her about that, but I think that's what I would do. I'd get on the hook for the whole year.
Local, so that's why I was able to save a lot on even flights and whatnot for her. I just think I would need to, if I need to go back and repitch it a little bit, I would need to do it in person, kind of with her.
I would go back and say, hey, at this event, there's a couple things that we can do, but I want to make sure that you know what this is and what it's not. Okay. So, and I would talk with her about 2 levels, because here's the thing. If she pays you $5,800, because that's what she's got, and she comes to this event, make sure she doesn't think it's going to be done after that event. Because last thing you want to do is give her a $60,000 product for $5,800. Because she may be coming to that event thinking, well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to knock it all out. And woohoo, I can go. Okay, I don't need you anymore, Heidi. You don't want that.
Right. I did think that we could get it all done. but I do see where that's going to leave us when we're done. She needs strategy. She needs ongoing. I just know it for monthly budget. She doesn't want to go over $4,000 a month.
Yeah, I know that. But so let's take so if you created a $50,000 project, let's say in your $50,000 project, you know, you're going to get this coaching, this, whatever, plus, you know, you're going to get this event where we're going to do all your headshots and all your video and all your blah, blah. You know, the event is valued at $50K. Because, you know, how much money do those people charge for all this stuff? A lot of money, right? And you're sort of including it in there. So just be careful that you don't do this event. She gets one heck of a deal and then she cuts you off and doesn't need you anymore.
Okay, should I give her the option when we're meeting together and I pitch the high ticket, this event is the inauguration, should I give her an option if she doesn't want to go with a long-term 12-month, should I give her the option just to do the event, but obviously then the price is a little bit different for the event and it's a lot higher and she can make 2 payments on it or 3 payments, whatever?
Yeah, and I would also say, talk about the deliverables, like what we could do. So like, what's Cree gonna do? She's gonna do pictures and like a brand.
And I'm having my tech guy literally there. He's literally working on her website as Cree's rebanding. We have the video person coming, filming her intro reels. Like we are literally finishing some of these pieces for her.
So that's a huge amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of money. If you had
this is a lot higher if I was bidding this contract just agency, not like.
But if you had 10 people,
so high up and she has such huge notoriety. Like this is a huge opportunity for me to get.
You got to get it, but also because she's got huge notoriety, she's also got huge expectations, and so she's going to come. What I'm nervous about, she's going to come at you, and she's going to expect for $5,800 she gets it all, and she's going to watch her hands be done. So make sure she knows that that's not the case. Okay. If you had 10 people at this event, so you're making $50K, and it was going to cost you $10K for everything, great. You walk away with 30 or 40 grand in your pocket. I'm like, woo! But you got one person there, so that's a lot different. I would talk with Latasha. Latasha did one of these. Okay. So I would do that. I would talk with her and say, tell me exactly what
I did. I mean, she priced hers at like $15K. I can do that. But where I feel is if I throw that down, then I got to give her 3 payment options, $5,000 a month for 3 months, pay the $15K. She's not going to throw down a big chunk. I've already fished that out of her. So my point is if I charge the $15K, how am I pitching a high ticket offer at the event for more payments when she still has a balance on this event?
I would pitch it before. I would work with her and I would get her in on that. I would tell her this event can look a couple ways. One, we can go in, we can just do an introductory video. We can do a couple headshots. We can do this, whatever. We can get some coaching. I said, but you know what? Since you're going to be here, we've already flown everybody here. Why don't we just go for it? So here's my $50,000 package. And at this event, now Cree can do a full blown corporate shot. And now she can do you can go all in at that event. And so just be careful that you don't get screwed over in the end where you did a really nice event for her where she should have paid 20 grand for it and she paid 5,800. At the end, the person that put all the energy, effort, and time in it but has no money is you. Because everybody else will get paid, but you won't.
Right.
So I would do that. Makes me nervous, to be honest with you. I would be negotiating right at the beginning with her and see if I would sell her that package before she gets there.
I'll go back at it like that. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Chad, I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so how are you?
Good.
So I'm getting ready to onboard people into my event that I'm hosting either on July 19th or July 20th. Haven't decided yet. Depends on venues. But I am doing a kind of like webinar style group call tonight where I'm basically, like we said, coaching a bunch of people and then pitching them for the event. Do you have any other tips for ways to get people registered for my event to fill seats?
Yeah, event registration is all about that video that you're going to do. So I would do a video on your homepage right there that just really who, what, why, how, who, what, why, how. Just in the .com secrets book, you can study that little script that Russell Brunson did, the who, what, why, how script. I would study that and do a really great video. When it comes time for marketing it, you can run a little Facebook ads. Your mom knows how to do that, and then you can target people in the area if you want to. But I would just try to. You got to get some credibility, authority, and visibility. So I would be finding out like where do these people hang out at, right?
Okay.
And yeah, so I'd be figuring out where they hang out at, and I'd be communicating, I'd be helping people, and I'd be inviting people.
Okay.
That's a difficult. I mean, with July, that's only 11 days from now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would get a video out there quickly, and honestly, I'd put like, I'd find who do I know on my Facebook page, what Facebook groups are there. I'd be getting in there and inviting them incredibly quickly. I'd also consider offering a virtual option.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Some kind of virtual option as well, where they can watch you online.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. I'll definitely do that.
Yeah, no problem. Anybody else?
I have another question if nobody else does.
Yeah, bud.
Let's see. So there was a few guys that came together and they're building this like collective and inviting like 100 people, 2K a pop. It's like a 3-day event. They're calling it the DJ Collective. Cool thing.
Yeah.
Did you get the audio I sent you by any chance? Did you hear this?
I haven't. You sent it to me yesterday, but I've been on.
It's all good. But to really summarize, it's a few people that are trying to do this big event and are doing a big event. It's happening, I think, in Arizona, funny enough.
Yeah.
And they invited me. I responded to them and complimented them and said, hey, our industry needs it, et cetera. So it was a good sign that they're really trying to fill seats. I was wondering what my approach should be. I already actually asked them if they need any speakers or anybody for panel, for like panel involvement, and they actually said yes. But I was wondering how I should approach it without coming off the wrong way. It reminds me similarly of you just showing up at a Russell event. It shouldn't be a big deal, right?
Yeah. Is this their first time doing it?
I think it's the first time doing it at this scale. I think they've done smaller events.
How many people are they expecting there?
100 people, I believe.
Okay. Do they have expo?
Did you say, is it an expo?
Is there an expo there? Like, is there a booth?
I don't think so.
Okay. So, here's what I would do is I would pitch it from the form of value. Okay. So what I would do is I would take that 2,500 word article that you have,
Right.
put it in Kappa 99, let them design it into a magazine. So it looks really, really good. I'd print 100 of them. Okay. You get them printed for $3-4 at print places. I'd print 100 of them. And then I would tell them that you want to give them a complimentary copy of your mini book called whatever it's called, whatever. And so I'd make sure that, and then on the back cover, I would pitch the hell out of your program. Okay. Like make it like a flyer, like a whatever. And so I would tell them that you would like to add value to their event. You'd like to give them this ebook that tells people how to go from basically $350 gigs to $3,500 gigs. So I would be doing that. Second thing is I would con my way onto the stage. Okay. I'd get on the stage somehow, some way. Okay. And I would teach something that would really intrigue them. If you can, get a teaching spot. If you can't, get a panel spot. Get interviewed. Okay. Get interviewed and think of podcast. And then you sabotage the interview. This happened to me at Life on Fire. You don't answer the question they want you to answer. You answer the questions that you give them the information you want to give. So the first question they ask you is, hey, Daniel, you run a business in New York. Tell me about this. Hey, Mark, thank you so much for having me. Hey, you know what? I just want to let all your audience know that, the point of my interview today, my work with you today is going to help you guys figure out how to go from $350 to $3,500. So glad. Thank you so much for letting me be on stage. Okay. Whatever. You gotta sell. Don't be a douchebag about it, but you gotta sell yourself right at the beginning. So I'd weasel my way on stage. I'd put 100 books in their hands, and I'd get myself a table in the back. Okay. And if they got a bag, I'm putting something in the bag. Like literally, I'm giving them anything and everything that I can, because what you want is you want to have solid conversations with 10 to 12 people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I do for you. And then Daniel, you need to make a list of like all of those around the world, and then find out where are they virtually? Where are the rooms that all of these people hang out? And you need to be in there. You need to be helping them. You need to become visible and known like immediately in all of those groups, because you got to get yourself some visibility. And
then what about my free group that I've started but haven't really pushed forward with? Any advice on filling that?
Yeah. So your simple stuff. You name the audience and the benefit. Hey, if you're a DJ if you're a DJ and you want to learn how I create $3,500, how I consistently get $3,500 bookings, I want you to join my private group. Okay, and then I'm putting it on my Facebook page. I'm putting it in every group that I'm in. I'm like just like hitting that. I may even run some ads and target DJs. Okay, on that. But benefit, and audience. Okay, so audience is DJs, benefit is how to get for $3,500. And I'd get like really specific about that, and just I put it everywhere, Daniel, and just try to you're gonna you'll start seeing 3, 4, 5 a day, then you'll start seeing 10, 12, 15 a day, and then you'll get to the point where you get more.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, beautiful people. If y'all need me, just reach out. But I will, our next call is on Thursday at 4 p.m. Looking forward to seeing you guys. This is recording, so I'll upload it into the group today.